Hey Grade 12s, in today's video we're going to check out question 7 of the June 2024 Gauteng Math Paper 2 paper. My name is Michael. I've been tutoring for the past 5 years, helping students throughout their entire high school careers from grade 8 to grade 12 improve their marks from 20% to 40%, from low 40s to high 80s in both math and science. So in today's video we're going to break down trig and triangles, some common approaches, so we can use our sine formula, cos formula, and potentially our area formula, express angles in terms of other angles, prove a side of a triangle by using the common side between the two triangles, and then doing some calculations with values that have been given to us. So this is a 9-mark question. It usually accounts for about 6 or 7% of the paper, and let's jump right in so that you feel more comfortable with this question when you approach it in your papers. So question 7 here says, in the diagram below, TQR represents 3 points in a horizontal plane on a sports field. PQ over here represents a vertical flagpole. The angle of elevation at the top of the pole from R, so the top of the pole from R is equal to theta. T equals theta here, angle T. TQ equals TR equals Y, which means this is an isosceles triangle. Then QR equals X units over there, and TQR, angle Q over here for TQR in our triangle on the horizontal plane, equals alpha over there. Okay, so each question leads into the next question. So 7.1 says, express theta over here in terms of alpha and show that sine theta equals sine 2 alpha for 2 marks. So this means we're going to be working in triangle TQR over here because we have an isosceles triangle that was given to us, which means that because this is an isosceles triangle, this angle TRQ over there is also equal to alpha over there because angles op equals sides. Okay, we don't have to put any reasons, but this is how we're going to prove this, because theta over here equals 180 degrees because of interior angles of a triangle minus 2 alpha over there, which means that this one's a bit different because what we have to do now is just introduce sine to both sides. So we have sine theta equals sine 180 degrees minus 2 alpha, which means that all we have to do here is do our working of sine theta equals sine 180 degrees minus 2 of alpha, which means it can place us in our sine quadrant or our all quadrant, but either way it is positive. So therefore sine theta equals sine 2 alpha. And that would earn us 2 marks over there because we added sine because we are taking the reference point of the opposite over hypotenuse from the same angle, because theta represents 180 minus 2 alpha, which means we can just introduce sine to both sides and then solve for this equation in terms of sine. Because now we expressed theta in terms of alpha and we showed that sine theta equals sine 2 alpha. From there, for 7.2, it's saying hence prove that triangle PQR is PR equals 2y cos alpha over cos of theta. So for 4 marks. Whenever they say hence, it's very important that if we could not calculate this in 7.1, we would then use this sine theta equals sine 2 alpha in this next question. Okay, so what we're doing for 7.2 and any question that is trying to prove some sort of ratio like this or some side in terms of the lengths, the angles, and the trig functions, it means that we are looking for the common side, okay? And the common side between these two triangles is this side here, this QR, which means we have just started in this triangle and we're going to see now how PQR, how we can get the angles from here and the sides from here in terms of QR, okay? Because ultimately what they want is PR over here, and the only way we can get PR into this triangle TQR at the bottom is to get PR in terms of QR, okay? So if we're going to work with our trig and triangles for our PQR over here, we're going to use our sine rule for 4 marks, okay? Because it means we have A over sine A and B over sine B. A reminder that the sine rule, the A is the length of the side opposite the angle that we're dealing with, which means that if we want PR, we're going to have to put PR over here. The angle opposite PR is sine of 90, and as we'll see in our calculator, sine of 90 is always equal to 1, okay? And then the side that we're dealing with here is our X over there because we want to get QR here. And then the angle that we're dealing with is this angle P over here. And what this is for P is 180 degrees minus 90 minus theta, which will leave us with a 90 minus theta for the angle of P over here, which is a good thing for us because sine 90 minus theta is always a cofunction, which means that we have this guy over here, we can plug it in, sine 90 minus theta, and then we can solve for it because this time PR is going to remain sine 90 in our calculator is just 1, and then what we have is x over sine 90 minus theta based on our co-functions, places us in our all quadrant. So sine 90 minus theta becomes cos theta over here, and then we want to get x by itself so that we can sub QR into our triangle TQR and get our PR into that equation, which means we're going to take the cos theta up, and we have PR multiplied by cos theta equals x, which means we now have x that we can do trig and triangles again for our triangle TQR and then get our PR into this triangle, which means that if we're going to do the sine rule here for QRT, what we're going to do is we're going to sub in x, this side here, over sine of theta over there, and make that equal y over here over sine of alpha over there. What we can then do is we can substitute the PR over cos theta into the location of x over here, because from triangle PQR, we established that x equals PR over cos theta. So it's basically a simultaneous equation between two different triangles and the common side, okay? Which means we have PR times cos theta over sine theta equals y over sine alpha. And now what we need to do is isolate for PR so that PR is by itself and that everything else is on the other side to the right of our equal sign, which means what we can do is we can cross multiply our sine theta up top with the y over there. So we have sine theta. We can then multiply down our cos theta to join our sine alpha over there. So we have sine alpha multiplied by cos theta, and then PR is by itself on the left side. Okay, and we have this guy over here, and very often in a question like this, we would have some sort of tan where we take our sine theta over cos theta and turn them into tan. But in this scenario, we don't have a tan, and we have a couple of things missing right now because the cos theta needs to stay at the bottom. There also is not any sine alpha at the bottom. The sine theta at the top is no longer there. There's a cos alpha over there. The y is here, so that's good. And then there's no 2 over here. And this is where our hence comes in, because hence proving that sine theta equals sine 2 alpha is exactly what we need to do, because the sine theta here, we're going to turn that into sine 2 alpha, and then we're going to take it from there because we're almost done. One thing to keep in mind is that sine 2 alpha is a double angle, which means we're going to go ahead and convert that into 2 sine alpha cos alpha. So it means that we have PR equals y times 2 sine alpha cos alpha, because a double angle can come into play in normal trig graphs, and trig and triangles, and then that is over sine of alpha multiplied by cos of theta, which means at this stage we can just cancel things nicely because sine alpha cancels with sine alpha over here, and we're left with exactly what we want. We can just rearrange it. So we have 2y, so I can just rearrange the 2 and the y. So we have 2 multiplied by y. Cos of alpha is remaining at the top, and this is over cos theta at the bottom by itself, which is exactly what we have here. It says hence prove that triangle PQR is PR equals 2y cos alpha over cos theta, and this is what we've just proven here, where PR equals 2y cos alpha over cos theta. Great job, guys. That just earned us 4 marks over there. And the whole procedure is always trying to find how we can get to the common side in terms of the angles we have in the one triangle, and then equate that to the other side in terms of the angles it has. And the most common approach is to use the sine rule first, and then if it's worth more marks than that, there's generally a cos rule involved, and otherwise only starting with area if they've given us information in the top to do with area. But otherwise, the sine rule is our best bet to go forward to get the one side in terms of the other side, so we can then find the link between the two different triangles. And then 7.3 over here, last question of this section, it says if alpha equals 49 degrees over there, x equals 20 meters and y equals 15 meters, calculate the area triangle TQR. So TQR is the triangle on the base, the horizontal plane, and our area formula for a triangle is half AB sine C, which means we can just go ahead and write that down. Usually in these questions, the thing we calculated in 7.2 is the equation that we'll use and substitute these values into. But this time around, it isn't the case because we are calculating area and there were no questions to do with area previously. But if we're going to look in triangle TQR, we're going to have to set this up that we have the angle in between the two sides. They gave us the x value here and the y value here, and they gave us the angle of alpha, which means that we're going to take half of side TQ multiplied by side RQ multiplied by sine of alpha. And then from there, as we can see, TQ 2 represents y, and y was given to us as 15 meters. So we can just plug that in. So we have a half multiplied by 15 multiplied by RQ. RQ represents x over here. X was given to us as 20 meters. So we can plug that in. And then sine of alpha. Alpha was given as 49 degrees. So we're just going to write sine of 49. From here, all we have to do is plug this in our calculator, and we have 113,21 degrees. And that'll be our final answer for the area of triangle TQR. Great job, guys. And that would earn us 3 marks over there, 9 marks for this whole section. And this format is very common for trig and triangles, where we're just trying to express an angle in terms of another angle, then proving the side in terms of angles and trig functions by finding the common side and then plugging in the values into either this equation or another equation from our formula sheet. But I hope that helps, and I hope you have more clarity approaching these questions by yourself. Let me know if there are any questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and then I'll see you in the next video.